What are the challenges going to this year, since you guys will be going head-to-head with EA for the first time?
I don't think there's any challenges going head-to-head with EA. EA is the me too. They're the, Johnny-come-lately. We talked to EA Sports, and you know what EA Sports said? It's not a real sport. Those aren't real athletes, and we'd never make a video game out of that. So like a typical goofball company, this one comes out and does very well, and they're like, oh, okay, me too. Now it's a sport. Now it's a sport, and these guys are real athletes because we want to make some money off it. EA sucks.
What you just saw was an interview by the most consistent man in history, Dana White. Ahoy hoy YouTube members of TYT Nation, you're watching TYT Gaming hosted by Brandon. One thing you can always say about Dana White, you can depend on him, is to be consistent. Yep, he believes the same thing across the board no matter what. For example, here's another interview from Dana White.
So last year you told us EA sucks, and what is it like to actually kick EA's butt and basically kick them out of the MMA game space?
When I'm a very competitive person, when you come out and you start a fight with me, we're going to fight, and we're going to fight till somebody wins and somebody loses, and, the UFC and THQ won. We beat EA. We beat their ass right out of the MMA video game market, so that's kind of how we do it.
Dana White is a happy man. Him and THQ are like that. They are working together, they're in simpatico, their game is killing EA. In fact, Dana White actually banned UFC fighters from appearing in the MMA video game made by EA. In fact, IGN did a pretty good job detailing the war of words between the two.
Like I said, Dana White, EA, they don't get along. Why, you may ask? Well, in 2009, Dana declared, I am at war with EA, because EA was making the other MMA game, right? You had THQ making UFC, EA making MMA, and Dana said that if anybody from any of the other fighters were ever in the EA MMA game, they would never be in his UFC again. He said, nuh-uh to those guys.
I think I've made my point about how close THQ and Dana White are, so you'd be shocked to find out that Dana White and THQ aren't on the best of terms right now. In fact, this is what happened not too long ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the UFC, Dana White. Dana, thank you so much for being here. We're incredibly pleased to announce today the start of a new multi-year, multi-product partnership between EA Sports and the UFC.
Happy to be here, finally.
After Dana White publicly trashed EA Games, he's gone to the dark side to join them. EA Games now owns the license to UFC video games going forward, for many, many years. What does this mean? It means that 1.2 million copies of a video game isn't enough to break even today. You heard me right. UFC 3, a game that got a lot of marketing push, couldn't make a profit having sold 1.2 million copies. You have to wonder if it's the UFC brand that isn't selling well, or if it's THQ's fault. The game post-launch is buggy as hell, UFC 3 that is, but even Modern Warfare 2 sold well despite word of mouth. It's so weird to see Dana White and EA Games basically bury the hatchet. It goes to show you that Jank is right when he says just follow the money. No, I make fun of Dana White right now. I actually know what it's like to be that competitive, especially in that kind of sport. He's a millionaire, he'll be fine, it doesn't matter what his word says, he knows what's right to do for business. But let's get back on topic. THQ has officially sold the rights to MMA video games to EA. What does this mean for UFC fans? UFC is always criticized for being too cult-like. It's not mainstream enough, it's too violent, things like that. But EA to a mainstream, to the news and everything, that is the gold standard. EA could potentially help the sport brand itself better. But the implications are pretty rough for the gaming industry. Keep in mind, UFC was pretty much full price, and they still couldn't make money. Is 2 million copies even enough anymore? But let's focus on video game quality here for a moment. Yes, I know UFC 3 did really well critically, but the fan reception since the game has come out has been poor. They think that THQ hasn't done a good job. But EA, on the other hand, EA isn't that great at customer support. And look at the Madden franchise. All Madden really is a yearly roster update. If you're an MMA fan or a video game fan, tell me what you think about this move. Do you think this is good for MMA? Do you think this is good for video games? Tell me in your comments below. After you're done commenting, thumbs up the video. Helps me out, maybe it'll get rid of my cold, and it tells TYT we want real gaming news, not the soft, mainstream, fluffy stuff. As always everyone, you're watching TYT Gaming hosted by Brandon, TYT Nation. Too strong.